For years, India looked at Australia as a Quad partner. Today, it is looking at Australia as something much bigger. A country that could power India's AI revolution, fuel its nuclear ambitions, secure critical minerals, and strengthen the Indo-Pacific against an increasingly assertive China. At the heart of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's upcoming Australia visit lies a deal that is not grabbing any headlines. Uranium. Because the race for artificial intelligence is not just about chips anymore, it is about electricity. And India knows that without reliable, round the clock, clean power, there can be no AI superpower. 12 years. That is how long a uranium deal between India and Australia has been sitting on the table, signed in principle but never executed. But uranium is only part of the story. Defense cooperation, maritime security, critical minerals, artificial intelligence, and a shared anxiety about China are all on the table. And Australia has just identified India as a top-tier partner in its national defense strategy. So is this visit really about uranium? Or is it about building an India-Australia strategic alliance that could reshape the Indo-Pacific? The most anticipated deliverable of PM Modi's Australia visit is the one that has been delayed for over a decade. A commercial deal for the supply of uranium has been under negotiations between India and Australia following the signing of the Civil Nuclear Cooperation Agreement between the two countries in 2014. That agreement was supposed to be the foundation. The commercial deal was supposed to follow. It did not. It sat in diplomatic limbo, stalled by bureaucratic inertia, domestic politics on both sides, and a lack of urgency. That urgency has now arrived, and its name is artificial intelligence. India is pushing to become a major center for new data centers used for artificial intelligence, which will require huge power capacity. And this is where nuclear energy comes in. AI data centers are among the most energy-intensive infrastructure ever built. Training a single large AI module consumes as much as electricity as thousands of homes. India wants to build dozens of these centers. It cannot do so on coal alone. It cannot do that on renewables alone. It needs base load nuclear power. And for nuclear power, it needs uranium. India's state-owned Nuclear Power Corporation plans to add 18 nuclear reactors by 2030, a move expected to almost triple the country's nuclear power capacity. Australia has some of the largest uranium reserves on Earth. It already has a Civil Nuclear Cooperation Agreement with India. The commercial supply deal is the logical and the long overdue next step. Uranium is the headline, but defense cooperation may be the more durable story of this visit. India and Australia are set to renew and upgrade the 2009 Joint Declaration on Defense and Security Cooperation. The two sides will also finalize a maritime security collaboration roadmap, which covers white shipping, the exchange of advanced data between two nations regarding the identity and movement of commercial, non-military merchant vessels. Now, this sounds technical, but white shipping data sharing means that India and Australia will have real-time visibility of each other's maritime domain. In an era where China's naval and coast guard presence is expanding across the Indian Ocean and the Pacific, that shared visibility is a force multiplier. In June this year, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and his Australian counterpart Richard Marles co-chaired the second edition of India-Australia Defence Ministers Dialogue, discussing advancements in bilateral maritime security cooperation, and efforts to finalize the joint maritime security collaboration roadmap. The two sides aim to collaborate on maritime domain awareness activities by maritime patrol aircraft and are also exploring opportunities to enhance undersea domain awareness. Undersea domain awareness, that is the most sensitive and significant item on that list. Submarine detection, underwater surveillance, and acoustic intelligence are among the most contested capabilities in the Indo-Pacific right now. China has been rapidly expanding its submarine fleet. Australia is building nuclear-powered submarines under AUKUS. India is developing its own nuclear submarine program. So all three share an interest in knowing where Chinese submarines are. No discussion of India-Australia relations in 2026 can avoid the China factor. It is the silent driver of almost every agenda item at this summit. In May 2026, the $20 billion Quad Critical Minerals Initiative was signed and designed to strengthen diversified supply chains across mining, processing, and recycling. Australia and India are members of the Quad alongside Japan and the United States in a partnership focused on cooperation across the Indo-Pacific region. $20 billion to build an alternative critical mineral supply chain is a direct response to one reality. China controls the processing of a dominant share of the world's lithium, cobalt, rare earths, and other minerals that modern technology and defense systems depend on. The Quad Critical Minerals Initiative is not just an economic program. It is a strategic decoupling effort, and Australia, with its vast mineral reserves, is central to it. India needs critical minerals for its electric vehicle industry, its defense manufacturing, its semiconductor ambitions, and its renewable energy transition. Australia needs processing partners and market destinations for those minerals outside China. The fit is natural, and the Quad provides the multilateral framework to make it happen at scale. This visit is not simply about signing another agreement. It reflects how China's foreign policy is evolving. Energy security is becoming national security. Artificial intelligence is becoming strategic infrastructure. Critical minerals are becoming geopolitical assets, and trusted partnerships are becoming as important as military alliances. If the uranium agreement is concluded, it will not simply fuel India's nuclear reactors, it will help power India's digital economy, strengthen its energy reliance, deepen its Indo-Pacific partnerships, and reinforce a simple strategic message. The Indo-Pacific is watching, and for once, both sides appear ready to deliver.